Hey everyone, so welcome to another episode على podcast كون رجال. So اليوم عندي a new guest, Roy Asmar.
Hi,
Roy, welcome to كون رجال.
thank you. It's a
It's,
pleasure being here.
Yeah, I mean, it's you know, we've been talking about this on a long time,
Yeah.
but you know, life and all these things come in the way, so it's good that we're finally able to do it.
Finally, man.
Yeah, so أول شيء welcome to كون رجال. تاني شيء روي، so نحن usually the way بنحب نبلش البودكاست نسأل سؤال. It's a very general question اللي هي لما حد بيجي بيقول لك كن رجال, what does that mean to you?
It brings up a lot of things in my mind. And in society, and we grew up knowing Koon Rijjeil is just being a man.
Yeah.
No emotions, no crying, be strong, do whatever it is. But to me, Koon Rijjeil is more of being present, being there, carrying yourself right, and just manning up to your word. So this is what Koon Rijjeil should mean to me.
Yeah. So and when you say manning up to your word, you mean in terms of be accountable or be responsible for what you say, or act up on it.
Act up on it.
So we have to walk the talk.
Walk the talk.
Walk the talk.
Walk the talk. That's what it
Because
is.
yesterday, the other day at work, I said talk the walk.
It happens.
But yeah, but in the context it was fine. So, anyways, so نحن, I mean, you know, يعني in Arab culture دائما بنقول كون رجال و what it means to be a man وهيك, بس I think ما في كتير awareness هلا. slowly people are opening up their eyes a little bit more على the role of the man,
مزبوط.
على هو شو مفروض يكون. هلا أكيد it's not a black or white situation.
Exactly.
مش
It's more of a general thing.
Exactly. أنا بحس more of a concept as a رجال هيك, بس إنه how you want to act within is up to you. Exactly. وهيدا the interesting thing about all of this.
كلنا ربينا على especially in the Arab world.
Yeah.
ربينا على منطق إنه كون رجال. Whether it's eating your food, whether it's crying, whether مثلا تاكل ما تخلص صحنك.
Oh my God.
أنت رجال لازم تاكل. Which
Mandi.
is
Just like my mandi. Yeah.
100%.
لما when I slept after for like 5 hours.
Exactly. يعني in the Arab world منك رجال إذا ما بتخلص صحنك.
صح.
You're not supposed to be full.
صح.
Which doesn't relate in any sense.
Yeah.
Being hurt and if you want to cry and it's like لا الرجال ما بيبكي. Or في كذا موضوع هيك وربينا على هالمنطق. وهيدا المنطق مثل ما قلت ما فيه صح وما فيه غلط. It's just the perspective of how people see it. المرجلة بتجي بكذا ناحية. المرجلة مش معناتها الرجال هو اللي بخانق. هو it's maturity in a way.
صح.
So recently the lights have been, you know, everyone's talking about it. Everyone is discussing it. And شوي it's the point of Koon Rijjeil is changing.
Of course. By the way, this is I think the whole مثل purpose of it all, is that, you know, I think كتير عم بيكون في توعية على كتير قصص بالعالم, بس بالأخص عم بحس بمجتمعنا العربي حتى يعني even within women's rights عم بيصير في كتير changes, which is great to see. لأنه بالآخر I think كل norms that were set من زمان كانوا okay, ما هيدا you know the way we used to live من قبل 100 سنة, yeah, it was to fit 100 سنة ago, مش
صح.
2023 where we are today. We need to adapt, you need to evolve. بالعكس, so it's always good to see more and more people talking about this و encouraging it as much as they can.
100%. And it's coming from both ends. مثل ما قلت women rights and awareness على هالموضوع, وحتى how being a man is seen and how being a woman is seen, and
Definitely.
it's great and the change is great. You know, the positive change about it is great.
Definitely.
And I really hope this keeps going for the long run.
Inshallah. So, you know, there's one thing that we always talk about, which is emotion, which is men do not show emotion, you know, وهذا الشيء عن جد بيزعجني لأنه it shouldn't be the case.
We're all human.
We're all human, exactly.
We're all human.
You're all, yeah. We all have the same makeup. We just look different.
We just look different. We all feel the same thing.
Exactly. we get hurt, but we don't show it لأنه we've been conditioned to not show it. بس هلا عم بيكون في a change, so يعني it's a lot of.
I support this change fully.
100%. You يعني هلا again, some people don't agree with this change. I hear it, I see it. Some people agree.
It's all about experiences.
Experiences, yeah. To be open-minded as much as you can.
100%. And the experiences are what lead you to change the perspective.
Yeah.
No one changes their mind about something without experiencing firsthand. مثل ما بنقول بالعربي كل واحد بيتعلم من كيسه.
صح.
And it's true. قد ما تسمع وقد ما العالم تحكي and whatever you hear, you will never learn to change unless you experience it yourself.
100%. But I think كمان with that you need to have a sense of, acceptance as what, I want to try something new. I don't want to stick to what I know. وهيدا usually this هيدا البارت is super uncomfortable لأنه نحن كتير again معودين to live a certain way وبنشوف أهلتنا وأصحابنا وعمامنا كلهم.
It's similar.
Exactly. So it's like, what, أنا إذا بعمل شيء غير لكن أنا
I'm wrong.
Exactly.
I'm different.
Exactly. But no, so going back to the point of emotions. So نحن كتير, there's one thing that I think we don't talk about enough عنا بالمجتمع العربي اللي هو to lose somebody بحياتك. إن كان حدا بعيد عن الشر توفى, or you've broken up with somebody, or whatever it is. Loss in general. I think there's something that I wanted to talk to you about today. لأنه, again, I mean, we always talk about these things, whether it's in relationships or in life or whatever it is. Yeah, so I wanted to, get your, experiences on grief in general. Or come in how you've coped with them over time.
Look, it's something that, as you said, everyone refrains from talking about. It's not something that people are open about listening about. Whether it's someone you know or a personal experience, or as you said, loss isn't only about someone passing away, but losing a friend or losing a partner in life. And grief is a big topic. Unfortunately, everyone passes through it in life, whether it's now, later, whether it's a loved one or someone just heard of. Everyone loses someone in this world. My share of experiences in this came back to back. So in 2017, my mom passed away. 2016, my grandfather passed away. And 2018, my godmother passed away. Okay. So it's just back to back. And it opened my eyes to a lot of things. You see things differently.
Yeah.
It teaches you the good and bad. It teaches you how to become stronger. So everyone talks about it in a way, it's a sad thing to happen. It is sad, but it happened. And you need to move on from there. Actually, not move on, move forward. You never move on from this. But what I mean by move on is just move on from the situation you're in. So losing, in my opinion, and this is how I see it and what I can tell you, when I lost my grandfather, it was sad. He was someone very near and dear to my heart. He taught me a lot. But my grandfather was getting old. He saw his kids grow up. He saw his grandchildren. He saw a lot in his life. And at the end of the day, it's a life cycle.
Yeah.
We're not going to live forever. It was sad, but it comes with age. When I lost my mom, she was still young. She didn't see her kids grow up even more. She didn't see her grandchildren. Yeah. So these take into effect of how you deal and feel about it. And as you said, we need to show emotions. Everyone comes to you and tells you, very rarely people come and tell you cry. Let it out. Don't keep it in. And many people come to you, they go like, مثلا, ارتاحت. Be happy. You should look, they look at the positive. No one tells you to get your emotions out there. No one tells you to cry. And
very true.
It's the thing that helps. I'm sure you can relate to this topic very much.
Yeah. I mean, Anna, I think one of the hardest, there's a lot of moments in my life where I lost people in kin from death, or in kin, just, friendships or relationships that just didn't work. But I think one of the harder ones was my uncle. So he died in 2021. Well, 2021 during COVID. So he had COVID. So whole protocol, at the time where like you stayed home for 10 days or 2 weeks, and then you go to the governmental hospital, you get checked, all good, you go home. What's happened was my uncle and his wife actually both had COVID. I think he was okay. His wife was pretty sick, but she got out of it. My uncle, again, I think it's a family, or I don't know if it's a family thing that we have, but كتير حنيدين.
Okay.
So my uncle Allah يرحمه, he when they did the X-ray for his lungs, they saw that his lungs were like pretty infected and stuff. So I remember it was, I think, a Friday morning or no, Friday evening.
Okay.
My cousin calls my uncle calls my dad. He goes like, "إيه أنا بالمستشفى وهيك عندي infection بس إنه حأرجع على البيت." But I was like, لا شو بالعكس go get treated وهيك. Anyways, ضلت معه COVID for a while. And then يوم من الأيام, he wasn't like in a very good place. We took him. I remember this like the scene in my head. كنا in the hospital in Suqeim, like one of the governmental entities. So I remember my dad and I, we walked in. We tried to like get him help. And the things that I saw on that day, I never thought I'd ever see. Like people just sitting sick, coughing. Like it wasn't one. It was like a fucking a sea of people. I was like, God damn! Like I didn't think
too
that.
Much.
Yeah. But anyways, all I remember was me and my dad sitting in his car. Then we saw our uncle get out. حطوه بالمستشفى. Sorry, in the ambulance.
Okay.
Well, that was the last time I saw him, like physically walking. Yeah, and then next, I don't know, month was just azab for everyone.
It's harder for the people around too.
Yeah, it's hard because هو يعني إنسان كتير بيزعل علينا. Every single person he's ever met loves him. It was tough, you know, and usually what happens when you're sick, sometimes it happens, sometimes it doesn't. But هو, it's crazy. So he was at like the peak of COVID. Like his body was like خلاص, it was done. And then subhanallah, like he recovered. He was negative from COVID. Everything was good. A day or two later, they were like, yeah, he passed away. I was like, how the fuck is this possible? But what happened after that was the impact it had on my dad, especially my dad. I think more than any of us, because my dad بالاخر ربي معه يعني بطرابلس وقت الحرب بلبنان وقت الجامعة بلبنان.
They spent their lives
the whole life together. حتى my dad, you know, I think had just left Jordan to go and find the work in Saudi. He lived on my uncle and his wife. So بالاخر you're like, man, fuck, like
it's tough. It's very tough.
It's tough. وبالاخر I saw a side to my dad that I've never seen before, which is that emotional side.
Which is good that he let it out.
Exactly.
If he hasn't let it out and just acted the way he should, and I'm okay, and my kids shouldn't see me like that, or my wife shouldn't see me like that, it would hurt him on the long run.
100%.
And I'm 100% sure right now, your dad, just like my dad talks, my sister, or I talk, it's all about good memories and jokes. And remember when this happened, or remember when this happened, and you laugh about it.
Yeah.
Because the emotions are there, but you let them out.
Oh, you need to. It's funny because like there's, as you were talking, two things came up to my mind. The first one was more of, you know, the days after he'd passed away. So it's like, okay, all the men need to suit up, do everything that they need to do. And that was something that I'll never forget. Like,
this is something that sticks with you.
Yeah.
When mom passed away, mom fought cancer for 5 years. And when she passed away, that's the first thing that comes to my mind. I was rock solid.
Yeah.
I got the news. I got ready. Many people visited us, close friends, you know, for support and talks and all.
Yeah.
When we traveled to Lebanon for the whole process, the burial and all. And this is where the emotions took control of me.
Yeah.
I was sobbing. It wasn't wrong.
Of course.
Everyone was there. Everyone was supportive. The close friends, close family members, they're like, cry, let it out. My father, seeing your dad in a situation like this, seeing him in the same situation makes it normal.
Yeah.
But finding someone standing there, not showing anything, you feel you're wrong about it. 100%. And this is the positive. So I get what you're saying.
Yeah. It's crazy because, you know, like, I mean, even at the time when my uncle passed away, like, I remember I had just broken up actually at that time, like very fresh. And I was very surprised that my ex-girlfriend at the time was still there, still supporting. Again, ما كان في bad blood between us. بالعكس, she was incredible throughout the whole time. Till today, I thank her for being there. لأنه it was a tough time. for all of us that know, it's like I lost a second dad to me.
Correct.
You know, yeah, and I think again, just seeing my dad, someone who I look up to every single day, you know, just being emotional, being emotional, but also being, you know what, it's life.
It's life.
It happens. People die, people live, people are born.
This is the mentality behind it.
وبالآخر يعني I always think about it like هو my uncle يعني he passed away, yeah, but let's be fair. And my dad said this to me, that, like when it first happened, he's like, look, إذا طلع منا حيكون sorry بس حيكون like on oxygen tanks he might not be feeling his very best, he might not do what he wants to do, فبالآخر هو حيتعذب منه لحاله. فبالآخر لا بلا هالعذاب اللي له، لأنه قد ما نحن بنحبه it's best, you know what, to rest, you know. This is دايما what I always think about. It's like, you know what, هلا أكيد people aren't replaceable of course, بس إنه يعني I always say this in life, whatever negative or bad thing that happens in your life, دايما a positive will come after it.
There's always a positive.
It might not happen right now, it might happen in 20,000 years.
Comes. And when you lose someone, whether again it's death or not, they're always going to be there.
Oh, yeah.
No one is gone forever.
Definitely.
I'm sure, like everyone who has lost someone, they still talk to them. They still feel their presence.
Yeah.
I'm one of them. I still feel my mom's presence.
Cute.
Not physically, but she's there. She's looking over.
100%.
You know, it's a very tough situation because everyone deals with it differently. You have people that go towards, you know, abuse or drinking or whatever it is, and it's the dark path of grief. And there's a positive path. It's what made me move on and what made me support friends who roughly passed in this situation.
Yeah.
It's life goes on. You never forget. You just learn to live with the situation.
Yeah.
My mom passed away. What am I gonna gain if I sit there and just be alone and cry and not be myself? Is that what she wanted? No. Go out, be happy, share her story.
That's beautiful.
Talk more about her. And people don't speak of anyone who passed away. It's the reaction you get in return, and it's what you feel. Make it a positive. Talk about them. You want to cry? Cry. You want to tear up? Tear up. But talk about them. Share the stories. They're funny stories. They're happy stories.
Oh, yeah.
And you find yourself, anyone finds themselves. You're talking and you go like, well, my mom told me kaza, kaza, kaza. Or you're in a topic, oh, she did this, this, this. It's never she was. She's still there, and the stories are still there.
Exactly.
Talk about it, let it out, share it. And this will make you move on.
100%.
This will make you live life. And you always see them in a good way. It's never a bad thing. Always talk about it.
Wow.
And I'll add to this, every time you open the topic with someone, the first thing you're going to see in your face is, I'm sorry. Don't be. Listen, laugh. It's a joke in their memory. Laugh. It is a situation.
I mean, it's almost as if they're there, you know.
100%.
He's just physically they're not there, but
exactly.
Spiritually they are everywhere. No, they're with us.
They're with us.
You know.
They're with us.
Yeah, man. It's honestly, it's you know, to me, grief is always an interesting thing because as we mentioned, like on one hand, we always have this. Okay, or historically, we've always had this negative outlook or sad outlook on this, but I think now we're starting to shift that, or at least there's maybe a small shift every now and then where, you know what, okay, let's come in. There's the facts. Somebody's died. I don't have a time machine to go back
and keep them.
Exactly.
الأعمار بيد الله.
Whatever happens is for a purpose. That's what I always say.
They served their time. They served their message. They helped where they needed to help, and they supported. And unfortunately, this is life.
Yeah,
we can't hold on to everyone forever.
100%.
circumstances might be different,
Of course.
but this is life, and we're here to move on, move forward.
Move forward. Exactly. It's always forward. It's
It's
never.
always forward.
Yeah. So what I wanted to ask you, because I think we sort of touched upon this earlier, which is, I mean, during your time where you've had, you know, the multiple passing away of different people in your family, what was your main coping mechanism? Because for a lot of people, as you mentioned, some people go into drugs, alcohol, some people, I don't know, abuse themselves, harm themselves. Some people do other things.
Correct.
So what was yours in, you know, and how? And
It was being out there. I want to show who my mom raised. It's me. And being alone and hurting myself will lead to a bad message.
Yeah.
I was going out with friends. I was going out for nights out, drives, gym. Gym played a huge role.
Yeah, definitely.
Whenever you feel sad, stressed, angry, you feel angry
Definitely.
at a lot of people. And gym helps let it loose.
Of course.
You release all that energy. Just don't be alone. This was my main thing, not being alone.
Oh, I think Damon being alone, like, actually I was talking about this with a very good friend of mine a few nights ago. I was telling him, I was like, man, you know, like a lot of times I feel like there's a bit of a judgment when I say that I like being alone. Like in the sense of, you know what, man, and like, I don't know, my perfect week literally is going to work, finishing my work, going to gym. If I have a bit of time, yeah, I'll go out. If not, I'm fine. Like, relax, I love it. في عندك other people who are like, لا, no, you cannot, ما فيك تكون لحالك. I'm like, no, but again, everyone works in different ways, which is why there's no one size fits all scenario.
Everyone deals with it their own way.
Yeah.
And look, time alone is good.
It's amazing.
But time alone always
is
not good.
Of course. No, of course. No, he Damon, this is the point, which is that you need to find a balance, which is especially in those times where when you're going through loss. I think it's always good to be around people, because at the end of the day, one عم بتغير نفسيتك، عم تغير تفكيرك، عم تكون مع عالم تاني، عم تغير جو، عرفت؟ It's always good to just to have that support system, even if it's not consoling you. It doesn't need to be that. It's just I'm normal, I'm fine. I want to be around people.
Correct.
Whether it's my best friends or whoever, I don't care who it is. But you know, it's always good to have that support إذا بدك in this situation.
Having support helps boost you in a way. And it might not be the support you want, but as you said, it's support at the end of the day.
Yeah.
And loss helps you deal with a lot of things with yourself. Loss changes you as a person.
Yeah.
Acceptance. Accept the situation. Accept who you're going to become. Responsibility falls over your head. بلا ما تحس.
أكيد.
It happens. It's there. Yes, my father is around. My sister is there. But there's a responsibility on me. And no one came to me and was like, Roy, ليك 1 2 3, the responsibility is on you. It just falls there. It teaches you who to be around. Being around the right people helps you deal with it positively.
Of course.
Being around the wrong crowd will drag you even further down. يعني بدك تعرف وين تحكي ومع مين تكون, and this situation helps انك تعرف وين تكون ومع مين تكون, which is a positive out of it. Always look at the positive side of the thing.
Yeah. No, it's very true, man, honestly. And I mean, I know one of my favorite speakers of all time is Simon Sinek. And there's one thing that he always says, which is you can never go through life alone. In whatever context it's in, you can never go through life alone. You need to have somebody to the right of you, to the left of you, and make sure they're helping you, but also you're helping them. Because when you help someone, yeah, you feel good. You feel like, you know what, I'm more than capable of doing something. And when you help someone, that makes them feel like, you know what, somebody cares about me. Somebody makes me feel valued. Someone makes me feel like I'm worthy of this kind of stuff, which today, unfortunately, is hard to find. because again, people live such busy lives. You know, people just don't have time sometimes to even deal with other
Their own
people's things, because even our stuff we don't have time to deal with.
Correct.
You know, so I find that super true in that situation, if you want.
A phone call can change a lot of things.
Oh yeah.
Sometimes I'm just there driving back home and I get a call from someone I haven't seen in a while.
Yeah.
It's like, hello, hi Roy. Kifak. I'm driving, you crossed my mind. How are you doing? This itself is a boost.
Definitely.
Someone out there remembers, someone out there cares. So imagine having the right people by your side who truly care.
And again, it goes back to grief or loss, right? So until I know when you've lost someone, you sort of start to realize that, you know what, man, يعني sorry بس الحياة منها هالقد طويلة. Whilst I'm here, I need to be with the right people who actually care about me, people who actually help me, and I can help them as well.
100%.
That's and you feel like you need to fill up those spaces, because again, life is short. We don't,
correct.
You know, we don't live forever.
We don't live forever, and sometimes spaces are hard to fill.
Definitely, which is where acceptance has to come in.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You lost an uncle. I lost a mom. No one will ever replace them. There are some things they used to do with us that no one can ever fill the gap.
Yeah.
That's where you accept it.
Yeah.
And that's where you try and make a positive out of it. No one, like, I lost a mother. My dad lost a life partner.
So.
My uncles lost a sister. And everyone dealt with it differently.
Of course.
Everyone has their own share of memories with that person. Everyone had something that she filled a gap that she will never fill again.
Yeah.
And we all have to deal with it and accept it, move forward, and try to find a way to satisfy ourselves with that missing gap.
Yeah. You know, and I think دايما, like, you know, يعني كل مرة لما نفكر لما حدا يتوفى, we never think about, حتى as you're saying, I was like, man, this guy is very true. لأنه يعني sorry بس أنا when my uncle passed away, حتى لما جدي الله يرحمه توفى, يعني I never thought about those individual relationships. It's like my mother lost a father, my aunt lost a father, my grandma lost a life partner, my sister lost, you know, also a grandfather, my father lost a father-in-law, you know. So, and it's interesting because we all have different experiences. كلنا عنا ذكريات مع هالإنسان ده خلص, you know, بالآخر ما بينكبوا بزبالة.
مزبوط.
لازم يضلون معنا, وبالعكس these are the experience. كل تجربة بحياتنا عن جد بتعمل your experience, and it makes your future, it makes your experience. لأنه دايما بقولها, even today in this podcast today, if me and you had never done this, then maybe what I do after this podcast isn't the same. I don't know. يعني things all lead up to each other.
Everything leads up to something.
Yeah.
If I wasn't friends with that person, I would have never reached to where I am today.
100%.
If I haven't said this word, I would have never got this outcome. As you said, no one knows what's going to happen next.
Nope.
Live, enjoy life.
Yeah.
Let your emotions out there.
Yeah.
Don't hide them. You'll reach places. Everyone is going to reach somewhere.
Of course. I mean, yeah, I mean, that's always the end goal. I mean, we all have a destined path that maybe we don't know yet, but we will get there at some point.
It's a rough path.
It's a rough path.
We're all going to pass through it.
Definitely.
Grief is one of them. If it didn't come now, it's coming eventually.
Yeah.
I'm not saying be prepared.
Yeah, it's like,
you can never be prepared.
Everybody be prepared, because some shit's about to go down. It's like,
there's no way you can be prepared for that.
Definitely.
But just be strong enough to move forward.
To know that when it happens, I'm equipped.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's not wrong feeling weak. It's not wrong feeling. There's a feeling you cannot say.
Yeah.
You know the feeling, and everyone who has lost someone knows the feeling. It's just inside of you.
Yeah.
Use it.
Yeah. So there's something we were saying off air actually, which really, and I was like, man, this is so fucking true. Which is, you were saying that death doesn't need to be a negative.
It doesn't
Let
have
it
to
be a positive.
Negative. Oh yes.
Let's reframe this whole view that we have on grief. لأنه يعني يعني حتى هلا كنا عم نقولها انه بالاخر لما بتخسر حدا yeah it's sad اكيد for sure I can't it's like a modern family when somebody dies and Claire's smiling. It's like that, no. But the point is that after that happens, there's a new start, there's a new chapter, there's a new life.
There's a new life.
This is always something to look forward to. Again, أكيد in the moment it's tough. I 100% agree. But you also need to be ready to accept the fact that, you know what, yeah, this will pass. But something better in my life is going to happen.
Exactly.
If not today, then in...
It's coming. And if you move forward, doesn't mean you forgot that person or you stopped respecting the death or the situation. No. I'm moving forward.
Yeah.
I cannot be stuck there.
100%.
It should be something happy to talk about. Share their message. As I said, and we're talking about it, every time you talk about death with someone, the first reaction you will get is, oh, I'm sorry. And it's sympathy. We don't need sympathy. We're talking about them to, if you don't know them, you'll get to know them through us.
Exactly.
And if you know them, you'll remember the nice memories.
Your stories, yeah.
And when someone passes away, they don't take anything with them. And it's the stories that you hear about them and you say about them that put a smile on your face.
100%.
And you respect them. So make it a good thing. Talk about it. Share. If it's the right time لا تبكي وتكون زعلان أنت وعم تحكي كي وزعل. And if you're out there in a group talking, socializing, and the topic comes up, smile. It's good memories.
Yeah, and that's exactly how it should be. I mean, yeah, I think, you know, when we talk about grief in general, we've spoken شوي about our ways of coping. And for you, what was your hardest moment?
Every day.
Yeah.
There's no one hard moment. And the problem with grief is it gets harder with time. It doesn't get easier. It's the hardest at the moment because you don't know how to act. ما بتعرف شو عم بصير، ما بتعرف كيف حتكمل.
Yeah.
لما تكمل, and when you move forward, you get to points in your life where I need that person. Whether it's a friend, it's an uncle, it's a mother, it's a father. You get to situations where you remember that you want to ask them, but their opinion on something or their advice, or you just want to go there and tell them a story that happened that your whole life معود تخبرهم هالشيء. So as life goes on, it does get harder. It doesn't get easier, but you get stronger.
That's true.
And from every situation that you thought it was hard, you learn, you move forward, and you deal with it next. When mom passed away, every single week, I would grab the phone after something good, dial up mom, then remember, oh, she's not here anymore. Instead, I would open my notes.
Yeah.
And I would share my thoughts as if I'm talking to her.
Yeah.
That was one step. And there are many that come. My father is there. They'll never fill the gap. A mother is a mother. A father is a father.
Sure.
An uncle is an uncle. But you cope with it. And you find not an alternative, but you find what brings peace inside of you to deal with it.
Yeah, definitely. And I think, you know, what you said is super moving because I think for a lot of people, usually our first instinct is to always talk to somebody after something has happened, good or bad. But, you know, I think the turning point is turning that habit of I need to talk to them to, you know what, they're not here, let me find a new way. It's always about adapting and evolving and just keep walking.
Adapting is the word.
Adapting. And life will keep throwing its curveballs at you, but you need to be ready to move.
Dodge them.
To dodge, move, attack, whatever your way is.
Sometimes you need to hit back.
You need to hit back, Damon. You can't just stand there and be like, okay, hit me. It's like, no. That definitely doesn't work. We've spoken quite a lot about grief in the context of death. نحن كمان, me and you, we almost always talk about relationships. So I think
don't get me started.
Yeah. So I think to to sort of talk a little bit about that in terms of, you know, I remember I mean, we've spoken about
A
our
lot.
hardest moments,
Yeah.
like in relationships,
Yeah.
like me not feeling like I was enough, me not feeling like I was worthy of anything, me feeling like, am I the problem? And that actually, it's يعني بتصير أمرار يعني either after I've broken up أو بتكون مثلا حد مثلا واحدة I'm interested in و it's not really working out.
مزبوط.
يعني we all
Yeah.
we all have our stories. So what was your مثل hardest moment?
We all had relationships.
صح.
One of those relationships, I thought I was in love, and you know, we all passed through the stage. She's the one.
Oh yeah.
And we're still young. It didn't end up working. I thought I was the issue. I had something wrong with me. I passed through stages, if you want to put them that way. زعلت كتير, ما بدي أشوف حدا. And you can relate. كلنا قطعنا فيهم.
Trust me. Yeah, أنا خبير فيهم صرت يعني.
100%. بس شو اللي بيساعد؟ The people around you.
100%.
I didn't have that. The people around me told me, X, your mom passed away. ما زعلت هالقد وقتها. ليش هلأ هالقد زعلان? And this is when you know you're around the wrong people. I lost a girlfriend at the time. I can still do something about it. I'm sad. It's different love. I love them. And telling me this, one, that's not supportive.
No.
Two, I'm around the wrong people. Three, I need to deal with it لحالي, so I know what's wrong.
Yeah.
And it was tough. It took me a year to get over the whole situation until the right people came into my life. And they pushed me out of it with their advice, with their support, كل شيء, with their acts with you. And they took me out of it. And you learn. You learn. This was a relationship. You take the positive out of it. You take the negative. You move on. This is where you move on and not forward. You move on from the situation. You take the good, whatever was bad in it, with you, with the person, whatever it is. Never speak bad about them. It was a phase in your life. You got the message. You got the lesson. You had beautiful memories at the end of the day.
So.
And you try to find your life partner. And they'll come. Whether you know it or not. Somewhere out there, they're gonna come.
Oh yeah. Definitely.
And we spoke about this a lot
كتير.
at the time.
A lot.
I got a lot of good advice from you.
So did I.
And it was a beautiful moment. A bro's moment.
A bro's moment, exactly. And that's,
Exactly.
by the way, and this is actually, I mean, the point that we're sort of talking about earlier, اللي هي نحن دايما لما نكون بهالظروف بنحس انه الدنيا حوالينا عم تتكسر وما بقى في حدا بس دايما it's always the little moments that I look for دايما. It's like this one conversation that I have with someone that if I help them or they help me, whatever it is, or just simply being around someone مش بالضرورة to help, but just to be around people, it's always good, you know. وبتذكر, I mean, I remember كتير كان عنا قصص أنا وياك يعني just talking about relationships and figuring إنه عم جرب نحلل ليه هيدي ما زبطت وإذا نحن المشكلة
إذا نحن الغلط
نحن الغلط وإذا هن whatever يعني كمان يعني بحس to answer this اثنيناتنا غلط.
ما في صح وغلط.
ما في صح لا بس إنه اثنيناتنا we have our own problems.
fair share of
exactly.
problems.
إنه أنا I know my things or they
صح.
probably know. I don't know if they do, but at least I do. You know, وبحس this is the يعني هيدا أهم شيء ب any relationship اللي هي خلص to sort of realize that you know what مثل ما قلت هيدا كانت مرحلة بحياتي it was حلوة منيحة تعلمت قصص حلوة قصص مش حلوة
صح.
بس بالآخر أنا شو بدي أعمل الملخص تبع هيدا شو بدي أتعلم بدي أمشي أو بدي ضل واقف وقاعد
100%
بالزبالة
100%.
و this is دايما the turning point وبحس كمان it links back to death كمان لأنه كتير
It has a lot of impact.
كتير your biggest turning point is either أنا بدي ضل قاعد أو بدي أمشي
مزبوط.
ومش أمشي move away from the situation بس move إنه خلص that's happened ما في غير شيء time to step forward time to change something about it
Change your attitude towards it. And I told you when we were talking at the time أنا الغلط لا أنت الغلط لا هيدا صح وأنت ما فيك شيء. And I told you something, I don't know if you still remember. We're gonna look back at this day and
Oh yeah.
we're gonna laugh.
There we are. Here we are
And
today.
here we are today laughing about it.
Yeah.
Because everything that we said, some of it was true, some of it was not.
Yeah.
And we've reached here.
Exactly.
We moved on. We're happy.
Super happy. Honestly, like man عن جد. وباي ذا واي هيدا كمان هيدا the whole يعني دايما بفكر فيها دايما وحتى كنا عم بقولها من زمان اللي هي كل شيء بينحل بالدنيا بس بالذات بهيك مواقف إن كان you've broken up or you've lost a friend or lost somebody you love from events خلص you're gonna look back and say you know what I've overcome all that.
صح.
If I can get through that then I can get through anything.
مليون بالمية.
Or maybe not anything but you know most things. Most things. Or some things you won't be prepared for.
We're never prepared for anything.
Yeah. But you know you need to know that. You need to know that life is tough and life will not come easy at you.
And it kicks you hard.
It will. It's going to kick you to the ground as this one Instagram voiceover keeps. I think, I don't know, was it Sylvester Stallone? Well, I don't know.
I'm not sure.
Some crazy film. But yeah, but it's going to kick you to the ground. But you need to stand up. You need to keep walking.
Yeah.
You can't.
You can never stay crawling.
Nope.
Stand up and not walk.
Run for your life because that's all we need to do these days from a lot of different stuff. But no, I think, you know, when it comes to relationships, I mean, it's always interesting لأنه دايما whenever we get into a next relationship it's always okay هل الإنسان أحسن من اللي قبله or في قصص مثلا يعني مثلا قصص أنا ما حبيت be the last person is it present بهال person or is it not will things work out will it not work out so كمان it's always I think it's preempting what could happen.
It's overthinking.
I mean we both know I do this a lot. It's
100%.
clear. Yeah.
It's overthinking. And something we both need to know and everyone knows. No one is perfect.
أكيد.
And مثل ما قلت, are these things that are wrong with that person, am I gonna find them in the next partner I'm with? يمكن بس الطريقة that they deal with it and they show it to you
exactly.
is different. And you might not see it as bad. You might actually start looking towards it as if it's something good.
Yeah, that's very true actually. بتذكر like like I remember there's a lot of things that usually tend to annoy me but no I think with time خلاص you start to find different people مثل ما قلت they deal with them in different ways or they show them off in different مش show them off in a bad way but they act on them in different ways. To me this is what's most important is بالآخر you know it's some things will continue to annoy you but بالآخر it's what you do about it that say though كمان مثل ما قلنا actually in the beginning of the podcast اللي هي acceptance which is to try new things is to كمان not have أنا دايما كنت actually now that I look back I remember I had such a هيك hard wall.
You were stubborn.
I was very stubborn because and again because I think دايما I look at other people I'm like you know what man they have it all perfectly وأنا but tell I'm like man screw that like you know
like we grow up and we see مثل ما قلت the problem start within us. الغلط منا قبل ما يكون الغلط على أي حدا. You look back to yourself, deal with yourself لا تعرف كيف I want to deal with the situation
100%.
and that person. Being stubborn is the biggest problem. Acceptance.
You need to be accepting. You need to be open to new situations and new
and never look at someone else and be like they have it all. They're perfect.
Because no one has it. No one has it.
No one. And we never know what's going on behind closed doors.
Definitely.
You might see a couple that are very bubbly and very happy and oh my god they love each other and يا ريت فينا نلاقي حدا حبه هيك. And then when they go back home it's madness.
Yeah. Well, this is I mean, this is usually what you find in you know, in a lot of relationships. You see, like, في عالم who live that life which is all perfect on the outside, but on the inside it's all crappy. وعندك قصص أمرار بالقلب إنه you know what من برا they're very at each other, but من جوا there's still a lot of love. There's a lot of affection. They're happy. وبالآخر again, that's how some people live. Some people live. That's again, that's for them to deal with, not for me.
Exactly.
I'm happy the way I am, but no. But yeah, no, it's very, very interesting صراحة to see how different people live with different things in their life. بالذات بقصص مثل relationships.
And for anything to be successful, you need to be happy with yourself.
Definitely.
You broke up and you're moving on and you found the right person. Are you happy with yourself first to continue with that person? Or are you gonna make their life a living hell and pour all your problems on them?
Definitely.
And then put the blame on them.
Because that's not fair.
Not everyone can take everything.
But بس كمان not everyone should take everything.
Exactly.
يعني there's a podcast كنت عم بحضره من زمان actually بس there's a speaker اسمها Esther Perel. I don't know if you've heard of her بس هي مرة كانت عم تقول إنه basically لما عم تدور لحدا to be in a relationship with or to marry whatever it is, don't expect them to do what a million people can do because they are not. يعني don't put kill her responsibilities على your partner. مثلا هي بدها تكون your business consultant, your lover, your therapist, your best friend, your gym partner. You can't do that. It's not fair.
You can't have it all.
It's not fair. And then when things end, going back to grief, you go like, but hold on, I was so perfect, everything was so good. She's no, that's not right. You can't do that.
You can't. There's no way you can be perfect.
We're not perfect anyway.
And looking around, and I'm not saying I'm an expert in this, and we've all see people around us and hear their stories. The perfect relationship is when you share. Yeah. Share your problems.
Yeah.
Share what you're feeling.
Definitely.
You want to cry in front of your partner. Yes, you're a man.
وإذا شو
cry. And if she sees that as he's weak and he can't continue, you to yourself would realize, am I with the right or wrong person? If you can cry in front of your partner and they support you and they're there and they still see you the same person that you are, they still look up to you in a way, you're with the right person.
Like, exactly. وحتى I started to learn that مش the hard way, but I started to learn that over time اللي هي you need to be open, you need to be honest. لأنه بالآخر يعني ما حد ساعد حدا إذا أنت قاعد عم تغطي عن أنت شو عم بتفكر. يعني كثير أمرار أنا قاعد خلص قاعد feeling something, I just don't want to say it. I want to put it in the closet. I'll deal with it. Everything is perfect. But it's not. لأنه بالآخر حتطلع بطريقة تانية.
It's going to come out eventually.
Exactly. حتطلع it's not, again, it's not fair for anyone. يعني إن كان in a friendship or relationship, whatever it is. عندك شيء بدك تقوله قوله. يعني شو ما يعني there's no like book as to what you can and can't talk about. بالعكس, you're in a relationship, talk about everything is إذا مش كل شيء في قصة you're not comfortable, most things.
صح.
يعني whatever you're comfortable about, make it happen. بس كمان you also need to reciprocate. يعني when they يعني إذا أنت عم تقدر تحكي لكن هن مفروض to be able to talk.
Street.
Exactly. يعني you cannot live this life where it's me, but then when they no, take a step back. You
I don't have the time, or I can't handle it,
no, I'm so overwhelmed. No, okay, we're all overwhelmed, that's true. But at the end of the day, it's only fair بحقهم to give them that time, to give them that space. And بالآخر, when or if something ends, you don't want, you would never want to be or feel like you're the reason why things didn't work out.
True. Or be the reason why they are who they are now.
Exactly.
Because of what you did.
Exactly. إنه ما بدك حدا يتعقد منك إنه that's like actually that's one of my biggest traumas. Like one of my biggest things that I always fear about every day. It's like I want to make sure that every single day I'm the best version of myself. لأنه بالآخر, I mean, whoever, يعني, I always look at my siblings and I would always want somebody who's marrying or dating, whatever, my siblings, to be a good person, and I don't want them to be affected by how someone else is treating them.
Correct.
I want them to be the best, حتى they're the best. So, and I'm not saying that you're always dependent on your partner, but في دايما some sort of influence.
It's a support system.
Exactly.
You lean on them, they lean on you.
100%. You need to make sure that the wall or whatever is strong enough to carry.
To carry both.
To carry both, exactly.
And sometimes both of you lean at the same time.
And if it falls, it's okay, fall together.
And you rebuild together.
You rebuild together.
Just
exactly.
Not from one side.
100%.
لا أنت ولا هي.
It's a two-way street.
It's a two-way street.
I mean, Bob the Builder never did it alone, so.
Oh, true.
See? طيب Roy, so أول شيء it was like amazing to have you on the podcast. على كون رجال, like really it was a like a chat that عن جد brought out a lot of هيك emotions من جواتي. It's like I'm remembering a lot of stuff وهيك. So بالعكس, thank you for that.
Thank you for having me here.
بالعكس man, it was really a pleasure. Anyways, as you may or may not know, the way we like to end كل episode من كون رجال is we have a notebook. We want you to write a quote that you would want every man to read, and something that they could read and feel like, you know what, maybe that's some good shit. Like I need to read that, or I need to act on this. So whatever you have in mind, write it down, paint your canvas.
Handwriting is an issue?
No, it's not an issue. My handwriting is really bad, so don't.
Here you go.
Thank you very much. I will.
It's an article.
It's an article. I love it. I always love good news pieces. But again, Roy, thanks so much for being here. وبالعكس, يعني this episode I really hope will resonate with a lot of people, لأنه كلنا بنمرق بظروف بحياتنا it's not ideal, you can put it that way. I think again a lot of people will hopefully resonate with it, and I hope that your story helps more and more people to come out and talk about these experiences, or to normalize emotions and crying, or being again the vulnerable version of ourselves. So again, thank you so much for being here.
Thank you. It was a pleasure. It was a great talk.
Fantastic talk. يعني تعاد أكيد تعاد. So yeah. Before we end, actually, I forgot to do this at the start, so I'll do it now. What do we think about the bald head? Do we like it? Do we not like it? I don't know. I can't tell.
Personally?
Yeah.
I'll tell you my opinion after the podcast.
After the podcast.
But let's leave everyone to decide.
Yeah, خلاص. I'll let the people decide. And yeah, guys, we'll see you on the next episode of Koon Rijjeil.